Cooking with fire. What's your desire? Let me make you some good to eat. It be so good you'll fall asleep. Now you're cooking with fire, elevating dishes higher. Let me fix you some good and sweet. I'll put a wiggle in your feet. I can go savory or sweet, no matter what we gon' eat. I can go savory or sweet, no matter what we gon' eat. Oh, what do you have a taste for? What do you have a taste for? Subscribe, click like, subscribe, click that like. Cooking with fire, what's your desire? Let me make you some good to eat. It be so good you'll fall asleep. Hey, welcome back. Welcome to another episode of Cookin Wit F.I.A. How's everybody doing thus far? Okay, have a very easy dish for you tonight that I grew up on. Okay, I grew up on this dish, and it's called SOS. And for if somebody want to know what those initials mean, well, it means shit on a shingle. Okay, that's what it means. But we just say SOS. Okay. Basically, it's made with your ground beef and mashed potatoes, what we're going to be using tonight, or either you could use rice, but we're going to do mashed potatoes. The potatoes are already been boiled, so we're using fresh potatoes. I'm using organic ground, okay, and I'm also using a 95% fat-free ground a turkey breast at that. Okay, so those are the two meats that I will be using and combining. So the first thing we want to do, though, is what I have going on here is we're going to start with my vegetables. We have onions, we have our bell pepper mixture right there, the red, the yellow, and the orange, and we have some celery right here, and then we have some mushrooms at the same time, then we have some seasonings. So what we're going to do is get this stove on, give it a second here to warm up, and we're going to put about a tablespoon of oil in here and let it get heated up so we can start with the vegetables. Actually, we're going to do 2 tablespoons. Okay, so there we go, and that will be plenty. And that's to get the vegetables cooked a little bit before we start the meat. But in the meantime, while that is warming up, I am going to, like I told you, I love to use Lipton onion soup mix. So what we're going to do with that one is we're going to mix that in with the meat, and we're going to mix these two meats together. All right. All right. These gloves. Come on, give me a fight right here. But yeah, we're gonna mix up this. This just helps boost up the flavor of the meat. You don't have to use, I don't use Johnny's seasoning salt. A lot of folks, I know I grew up on it, a lot of folks used to use that Johnny's, but I don't do that Johnny's at all. I like to use these two meats together. They do give a good flavor when they are mixed together. I like to do that. And so, you know, it's just a ground turkey breast actually, and with a good, decent grade of ground beef. out of all the meats that are out there, trying to slowly but surely, myself personally, I would like to be able to get away from them. And so I've bought cookbooks and different things that I think that's going to be mixed up. Plus these are done. And this is, I know it's ready. So what we're going to do right now is going to add, yo, you hear that sizzle? You know it's ready. All right. All right. And we're going to add the onions. Celery. Always cook with vegetables. Always cook with some vegetables. And one of the things I also like to do is also season my vegetables. What I've done, my daughter's done for me for Mother's Day is got me these cute little containers. So this one right here, this is a combination right here mix of my pepper, garlic, and onion powder. So we're going to use a half a teaspoon of that. This is my 3 salt blend, half a teaspoon of this. At first it would be 1/4 of everything. And so it's bumped up to a half a teaspoon now. This is my turmeric and paprika blend. These seasonings I always use. Okay, always use. And so now we're going to give this. It smells so good. Alright, that looks like it's doing good. I want that to cook just a little bit more before I add the meat. So the next thing we'll do is add the meat. You can see that's getting a little brown now. All right, that's about ready. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to add the meat. We're going to put them off to the side. All right, a little bit in there. Break this up a little bit. Doesn't look very appetizing before it cooks. So while I have this flattened out, we're going to do the repeat now on the meat with the seasoning. I'm going to put this by itself because it has raw meat on it. So get back out my half a teaspoon and we do this again. All right. Okay, now we have all of the meat seasoned. It's going to simmer a little bit. Oh, what a mess. Get the lids back on here. Get ready to flip it. Just want to keep turning it and then we will unite everything together. Alright, as we could see, I want you to know something. This didn't have, these meats that I use, it's because they don't have a lot of fat. So it's not going to have to worry about being drained. You will see the juice from the Lipton soup packet start to seep out. Okay? But when you use your meat that don't have hardly any fat in it, you will not be getting a whole bunch of fat in your food as you're cooking it. So this is we're going to keep on. It's just going to mix everything together. But if you use normal ground beef, if you guys do, you don't want to mix everything because you're going to have to drain that fat, okay? You're going to have to drain all that fat that it accumulates. So keep that in mind also. Another thing you could keep in mind is if you notice that when I had the meat in the bowl that I did just put the Lipton soup in there, I could have put all of those dry ingredients and mixed it all up too at the same time. And one of the reasons, and I normally do, I didn't because the gloves were just, they just wasn't holding up. So I just got a little tired. But yeah, mixing all your dry ingredients with your meat in the bowl and getting all of that mixed in is a really good way to do it. So we're going to let this cook a little bit. It's going to take a minute. And so while this is cooking down, I'm going to put a top on this. And we're going to start working now on our mashed potatoes. I'm just going to break this down and then we're going to let this simmer. And once this gets really all cooked, I'll come back and we will add the cream of mushroom soup to it. Okay? You get a top, cover that. Hey! All right, let that simmer and cook. Okay, so that has simmered a little bit. Now it's time to add the mushrooms. And this time, one of the things mushrooms do is, I have two different types of mushrooms here, and they will cook down. This is my first time adding mushrooms to this dish. Uh-oh. Probably saw that fall, but this is my first time adding the mushrooms. So yeah, this is going to be a nice hearty one. This could also be cooked without any meat and just a bunch of mushrooms too, but I don't think it would be considered SOS at the time. It might have to have another name. So we're going to let that simmer and go back over here to working on the mashed potatoes. Alright, so what we're going to do now while that is back there simmering and cooking and mixing and everything, we're going to work on the mashed potatoes. This is 8 medium boiled potatoes, okay? I've already peeled them and everything, so what we're just going to do is get them mashed. I have a half a stick of real butter. We're going to pour that in there. I have 2 cups of milk. We're going to pour that in there. And then we're going to add, because the seasoning is already going to be 1/4. Just a 1/4. We're just going to add a 1/4. Just in case you want to eat these potatoes by themselves. And so, again, my favorite seasonings, powders, that is 1/4 teaspoon. Not very much. Alright, so what we will do with this now is we're going to mash it. This one don't seem too good. I'm not going to say if I add too much milk. Lord, I hope I didn't. All right. Oh, there's a lot of potatoes in there. I don't think I hit the bottom. I think I have them mashed. So now I think what we need to do
first we're going to switch. Okay, so I can get to the bottom. A little bit moister than I anticipated. That's for sure. So it was 8. If I would have taken out a half a cup of milk, it would have been a little thicker. But I think it's, oh, it's thickening up already. Gotta use the muscles. All right. Well, potatoes are ready. Potatoes are ready. So we're going to put those there. Now we're going to come on over here and check on what's going on the stove and see how that's simmering up. All right, all right. Look at that. Now we have a little liquid down there. You see that? But that's not like your grease. That's your juice. That's your broth. That's going to go good over the potatoes. Because you can see how dry it is over here. It's coming a little bit. But you're not full of grease. So now what we'll do is I'm going to drain some of... Actually, I'm not going to drain that off. It is time to add the cream of mushroom. You know why I say I wasn't going to drain? Because that broth is needed. You're supposed to add at least 2 cans of a can of water per can of soup. This is 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup here. Okay? That's what this is. And we're going to first mix it with the broth that's already there. It's a little still thick. So I have a can of water. We're still going to add a can of water. Again, this could be over noodles. This could be over rice. Spaghetti squash. Which I have one too. I'll probably cut into that tomorrow and work that one. So now we'll allow this to simmer even a little bit more. That looks so good. That really does. This is the heartiest I have ever made this. So we'll let that simmer a little bit more. That's beautiful birds. Alright. We're going to let that, like I said, probably 3 times. We're going to give that about 3 minutes, okay? And I'm going to get some plates and everything ready and set all up. And we'll be right back, okay? Give me about 3 minutes. All right. Everything is finished. Ready to start making some plates here, okay? So, mashed potatoes. And look at that. Let's stir that in. It did get a little grease there on the top. We do see it, but it's not swimming. I probably could have done it a little different. It'd be totally grease-free, but look at that. So you just kind of get some of that juice. Let it fall. All right, look at that. So Plates are served. Now it's time to call Jordan to come and taste and see what he thinks. Hey, Jordan! Time to come and taste and see what I got cooking. I don't know. Somebody give me some suggestions of how to do that part, okay? We'll wait for him to get here. All right. Moment of truth. Here he comes. What's up? What's up?
So, what we got here?
Well, what we got here is, you know, I always make my SOS. Well, this SOS is a little bit different. I've added more mushrooms this time, and instead of rice, I did some mashed potatoes. Okay? And so, other than that, it's basically almost the same, but let's dig in and see what you think.
Well, that was good.
The mushrooms really do it. Potatoes could have been a little thicker.
Still good.
And it's not over seasoned.
Oh no, it's perfect.
See? It's important to measure, to at least know your measurements. Because my ratio of seasonings would be like too salty sometimes. It's really not the business.
Oh, okay. That's not what I expected.
What'd you expect?
I don't know, just not that. A little bit of wine in there.
It's my first time serving my son some wine. Yeah, his sister left some, and he tasted it and thought it was pretty good, and I was like, he didn't realize I like that kind too. So, and what we are drinking, a little bit of advertisement here, is Barefoot Deliciously
Red Moscato.
Red Moscato. It says California Deliciously Sweet. It's a red wine. Red wine, they say, is good for the blood. So anyway, man, that was really good. Another easy meal. Very easy. If you don't have fresh potatoes, you can use instant or rice. Toast. Trust me. Toast. Biscuits. You can, not only that, you can switch up your soups. There is cream of chicken. There's cream of celery. Oh man, they would be really good with. You don't always have to have cream of mushroom if you don't like mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? If you use cream of celery, cut up your celeries a little bit chunks. A little, make more celery chunks in it. Like I added the extra mushroom because it's mushroom soup. Okay, but you can use any soup. Cheddar came to mind, and maybe probably like a macaroni and cheese. I mean, well, not without the macaroni, not unless you make noodles and make this with the cheddar cheese soup and then put it over some noodles. I just thought, hey, that's like a hamburger, cheeseburger type of thing. It is like not the hamburger, no bread, but cheeseburger. So your ground beef and meat mixed with cheese, just like you would do a burger. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Oh, you finished yours.
Yes. It's good. I'm hungry.
That's a good sign. You think about that combination. That meat.
Really did.
What was that?
Skip. I don't know.
Anyway, thank you. Is there anything that you would have suggested that I would have done, should have done different?
No, that's good.
All right, thank you. So thank you. Another episode for watching the show and Cooking with Fire. Until next time, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, the like button. Subscribe. All right.
Bing, bing, bing. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when she uploads her next episode.
Hey, which is usually Saturdays at 4 o'clock PST and 7 o'clock EST. Anyway, yeah, it's written back there, big letters. Get that.
Subscribe, click like, subscribe, click that like. Cooking with fire, what's your desire? Let me make you some good to eat. It be so good you'll fall asleep. Now you're cooking with fire, elevating dishes higher. Let me fix you something sweet. I put a wiggle in your feet.